Hey, welcome to Anybody Thing. I'm Braden Croft.
I'm Travis Shuchuk.
And we are talking about movies that don't have sequels that should have sequels.
And there's a bunch of them, so we're going to talk about those. I'm sure there's a bunch more that we missed, but maybe we'll do another one later.
Yeah, stay tuned. Let's start this list off. First of all, it's a hard one to make, man, because it's like every good horror film eventually gets a sequel.
It's true, there's a lot. There are, and cool. I mean, you know, it's sequels to me. I always rather than, you know, like a reboot, any of that, because like that's one of the beautiful things about especially current day television is you're getting these longer, more developed stories, still done really at that kind of film caliber.
Yeah,
but you just get to expand so much more than what you get to do in that 90-minute or 2-hour whatever window just to tell a story. I mean, like, you've done it, you know, yeah. Like it's hard to contain that and make a great story. Whereas a sequel sometimes gives you that little, like, what else happened, or even prequels too, which we aren't doing today, but the same thing. I sometimes enjoy that too.
It's cool to see them elaborate on it and like grow it, but sometimes, you know, at worst, it's just stagnant. It's a rehash. It's the same ingredients, and you get dull, you know, iteration of that. Or they do the prequel thing, and then they end up going too far, and now the mystique is gone. It's not as scary somehow.
True.
But, I mean, let's jump right into the first one.
Okay.
Immediately, what came to mind for me was The Shining, but we got Dr. Sleep.
Sure. So, which I actually liked. I liked that movie way more than I thought I would.
Oh, man, Mike Flanagan is amazing. He's awesome.
Great. Oh, yeah.
He's like the ultimate dude.
I love the Oculus
Darabont doing Stephen King.
Oh yeah,
you know, his non-genre pictures, except for The Mist, I guess. But I would say he's right up there. He may just
100%
snag it if he keeps making them. So
it's great stuff.
But with that said, I chose Event Horizon. You remember that one?
Sure. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Basically, space crew goes. It's the same old trope, man. It's like Alien, right?
Oh, yeah.
Distress
and a little
signal.
bit of Doom, too, kind of, with hell. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And the kind of the space vibe. So distress signal, they go out to check it out. I forget what biblical name they gave that goddamn thing. Not the Nostradamus or something.
But it's one of those kind of...
Ship has a gnarly name. You get there, crew's missing and or dead. And then sure enough, they uncover there's a portal. I think, what do they call it? The... shortest point between two distances. They fold the piece of paper. Sam Neill puts the pencil through it.
That's a good bit.
You unfold it. So it's folding space-time, and they open up a fucking portal.
Yeah.
What bad could happen?
Oh, I don't know. Hell, maybe?
Everyone knows when you open up a portal, it's a portal to hell.
It's either a portal to hell or a parallel dimension that's worse than ours.
Yeah, never better.
It's never better. It's not like some guy walks through, oh, hello, here's your... $1 billion, complimentary, of course. Like, that shit doesn't happen.
Hello, Mr.
Here,
Shuchuk, president of the galaxy.
Would you like your cure to death? You know, we've got this serum here that'll make you live forever. No. It's a fucking monster. It's the devil. It's an alien species that'll obliterate you. It's never good. So don't open goddamn portals.
And what does that say about our reality? It's like... everything is worse in our reality, but our reality is pretty tough as it is. Like, God, 2020, man, you're telling me 2020 is the best 2020 in all the portals?
We are finally starting to become like a portal that's shitty to open. Because I feel like every day it's like a Black Mirror episode a little bit. Like, we've finally become that alternate universe, like that Mandela effect shit. I feel like maybe.
It's like
we're in the shitty one now.
This shit opens. Smoke comes out. They have gnarly glasses. It's like Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, bro, how's it here in 2020?
Yeah.
We're like, pandemic? And they're like, peace, bro. Back into
gnarly.
Whoa. I'm out.
Yeah.
But Event Horizon didn't get a sequel. It was made by Paul W. Anderson. Who
W.S.
W.S. That's right. That's where my mind was going.
Did Resident Evil and all those after.
Did all the Resident Evils, so it's not like he left the genre to do something else.
No, 100%. Like he's definitely been in there. He
knocked it out of the park, man.
Yeah. Well, and that's what really opened doors for him too.
Well, and what do you think if Event Horizon did get a sequel? What should that look like? What would be the coolest option?
Would it be another crew doing the same kind of mishap? Or would it, like...
See, that's where the danger comes in. Or would it be the Alien to Aliens effect where you're like, okay,
true,
we have space military dudes looking to recover this crew.
Yes.
And now you got the action version.
Yeah, and that's, I think, a great option. Which I'm going to just right here, just shoot another sequel that never had a sequel. That it got a sequel, but didn't get the sequel that it could have had, which a lot of fans would have wanted. Aliens. Now, Aliens got Alien 3. I actually like the film. I mean, it's not perfect, and there's some elements that, people didn't want Ripley to, spoiler alert, die. I mean, it was like 93 or whatever, if you haven't seen it.
But if a sequel doesn't spin off, then it's just another sequel. So you mean it'd be like...
there was talk, and maybe in the comics and stuff, and they actually did it in the game. Unfortunately, the game didn't go over as well as what was intended, but Colonial Marines. But that they were going to do... there was talks of... like a group of Marines that go to the Sulaco after Aliens and try to be a rescue crew. So Ripley is jettisoned out with to the prison planet of Alien 3, and they go to the Sulaco, but then there's aliens on the ship. And shit goes from there. So they're a rescue crew to go...
So bringing the aliens back on the ship like the first one, but keeping the Colonial Marines like the second one.
So you're getting Marines going as a kind of a rescue crew. Could have been cool. I don't know. But that's not one that was actually on my list. But I was just thinking of when you were talking about that. I was like, oh shit, that kind of reminds me of that. So. And
I do you consider spin-off sequels? Because that sounds like more of a spin-off.
Sort of. I mean, yeah, it could have been a spin-off. Yeah, I think there's tons more you could have done with Marines that way. But
true.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Okay, so Dog Soldiers. Great werewolf film. I always loved that movie. I thought it's got some cool...
That broke what's his face into a scene. Oh god, who was the director on that?
Oh no, you're... shit.
I'm typing it up.
Yeah, you have to, because I'm blanking too. I'm way too tired right now.
Neil Marshall.
I knew it was Neil something.
And then he went on to make The Descent, which by the way has a great sequel.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I love the sequel on that.
So how did Dog Soldiers end? It was it a negative ending, no one lives sort of thing, or did we have a final here?
No, there was a survivor, but most of the guys ended up dying in that.
So what would your ideal sequel be for Dog Soldiers?
Well, I think there's just a lot open there because the werewolves are there. They're kind of out in the countryside. Mm-hmm. There's definitely more opportunity. I mean, you could set up any... The thing with the Dog Soldiers werewolves that was cool is they were nearly indestructible. Mm-hmm. They had a unique look to the wolves themselves, which a lot of the fans like. Which
was a perfect mix, of my opinion, of being bipedal.
Yes.
But also being heavy
very wolf. Yeah, their heads were almost literally a wolf. Like, they were...
Very howling,
right? Yeah, like they looked like an actual animal, but then the body was very fleshy, kind of like Underworld that way. Like they went with more of that route, but a little bit further, like more animal to human. So the look of them in general, it was really gritty. The way they there was good humor in it. Mm-hmm. It was European, which there's always a different vibe when you're getting stuff from the UK which I like for a change, like it's just the way they shoot, the way they write, it's just a little different, and I think they nailed it with that film, and I would love to see what more they could come up with.
Would you bring them into a city?
Yeah, I think something like that. I don't think necessarily soldiers being the main thing, even though it's in the namesake, and maybe you could bring them in later to kind of clean up the mess more so. But yeah, I think something along those lines where you could have it in a different setting and more chaos a little bit that way. And
yeah, where do you go from there, I guess, because they already did the military angle.
They did the military angle.
Jimmy Cameron did already.
To a degree, but it was in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So I think it would be upping the ante with it. But being the namesake Dog Soldiers, would you need soldiers involved? Would you need that element? Or would you just, I don't know.
Or maybe they're literal dog soldiers. So like the werewolves come into town, and then you have like Saint Bernard, golden retriever with like fucking silver cannon shooting things.
Well, like Batman Returns, we just start strapping fucking rockets to dogs instead of penguins.
Dog soldiers versus werewolves.
Yeah,
totally changed the franchise.
Oh shit. There's a couple of B movies in the making right now off of this. They're like, son of a bitch, they've got it.
Neil Marshall's looking right at the camera. He's like,
get them on the line. Ruined my sequel yet again.
Okay, what else do I got?
What do you got going?
All right, I got 7, and I'm just gonna say some people don't consider that a horror movie. I do.
I would say okay, just because it's a crime film and it's a thriller in some aspects, it's still horror. I mean, like that one is gritty. It's very dark.
It's a serial killer film. There's so many serial killer horror films.
Well, what's scarier? Okay, because in my mind, werewolves, as cool as they are on film, pure bullshit, right?
Yeah.
But when you see a guy doing like that, it had that kind of gritty, gross, like, I could see this. Like,
it's Saw before Saw really hit and went, how many sequels is that?
And I guess there was an actual real monster in the movie, too. Kevin Spacey. Mad burn. What you gonna do? Anyway, but it's true.
That's safe to say, right?
That is safe to say.
Okay.
I think it's safe to say. He's pretty universally done some...
Was that safe for me to say?
I'll say it's safe.
I'm double negating myself.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
You canceled it. All right.
Yeah, that's true. Kevin Spacey was in that.
Yeah, he was, but he was great in that.
He was really good.
He's a killer actor.
Yeah. And actually, John Cassini, True Fiction. Someone mentioned they should say, explain what True Fiction is. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, it's my third film. But John Cassini plays a police officer in 7. Awesome. And it's funny, when I met him, I immediately connected to it.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, tell me about David Fincher. What's he like?
Well, I mean...
Yeah, so there's some good stories there, none that I could probably repeat, but not all. I wouldn't say they're bad. They're just not for me to tell.
Yeah, understandably. Wow, that's good. I met Mark Boone Jr. He was also a cop in that movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's a cool guy too, actually.
So 7. The sequel, naturally, would be 8.
Okay.
What would the 8th sin be?
So...
Not rewinding the videotape before you send it back to Blockbuster? Or
yeah,
what?
really. I mean, because it was really bound to the number 7 being with the sins. So, I mean, in my mind, I go copycat killer or something. Like, because what do you do?
New Detectives?
New Detectives, yeah.
Or do you stick with, Brad Pitt's probably in the loony bin.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty rough... I love that ending, too.
So
it was
good.
so bold. It was just... Yeah.
Yeah, and as people may know, it's not the original end. Well, it was the original, but then they changed it, and the wrong script was sent to David Fincher, and he read the original script and insisted it get turned back to that.
That's cool.
Head in the box, right?
Yeah. Every time Jenna, like, sometimes she'll just say, "What's in the box?" Because I always bring shit home from work, and I'm just like,
"What's in the box?"
I said, "What?" And I just make her repeat it a few times sometimes. Yeah, sorry.
It's like whenever I hear someone say, "I'm not supposed to," I always have to let go. I'm not supposed to, because it reminds me of Torrance. What's his face in The Shining?
Yeah,
I'm not supposed to.
Yeah,
love that.
Yeah, I love any time where you can organically just coax people to say lines out of movies for no reason.
And it's a very bonding experience when you find someone that
and they gets it,
and they get it, and it's not.
And they're like, or they shoot you a look. Like, that's one thing I love about going to either like movies sets. Like, a lot of people are in the similar shit, or horror conventions or Comic Cons and stuff like that, because everybody gets the same shit. Like, so everybody's just throwing out references like nonstop because they're like, fuck, finally.
Yeah,
I've got gold in my pocket, and they get it, like, so people just love shooting out, and I love it because it's like, I'm part of that. These are my people, right? So.
Although it can work in the opposite direction if you're dating someone and they're not into that.
Yeah.
And then you and like 20 other people are going off, like
Jenna experiences that off and on, where she's like, didn't see it. Sheltered Christian originally, so.
Yeah, Liz will drop that now and again, and she like kind of feels out of place. I'm like, no, don't worry. That's like such a random thing. Yeah. But to that, like to someone else outside, it just.
But I love the random ones, the ones that are really under the radar. But like when you can, because those are like, you caught something that even like people that get that shit didn't like normally get, right? So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So 7, it would be 8. Don't know what the 8th sin is. Maybe someone in the comments, man. What would the 8th sin be? What would your personal 8th sin be?
I don't even know what you would go with, to be honest, because you would also have to do a crime with it.
Yeah.
And because he did one for each sin.
Damn, I wish I prepared this.
I don't know, man.
Thou shalt not be a dick. I don't know. So many, something to do with traffic, you know?
Yes.
being a dick in your vehicle, and then they like
thou shall not road rage. Yeah.
being a dick in a vehicle, and then literally like he's attached down there to the vehicle, and he's got some choice. Like either he could drive properly.
It's gonna turn into a fucking Saw movie.
Exactly.
Like, it's just gonna, sorry, David Fincher, we fucked your film.
Do you want to hear my Saw kill?
Always.
Okay, there's a lot of great Saw kills. Everyone knows that. It's like the whole impetus of that movie or those movies is to figure out inventive ways that people go, what would I do?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
how about this?
Okay.
And I've heard this. I don't know where I heard it, but it was messed up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like those clear gas tubes?
Yeah.
So this was said, I think it was something to do with wartime, but they would funnel that through the back end of someone or the front end, and then they would thread barbed wire in and then
Jesus.
pull out the plastic tube. So I thought like, okay, what if you had like a paparazzi guy and it's like he wakes up in a seat, the seat has a hole in the bottom and then it's threaded through that end and through the top end. So it's like, Christopher, you've talked a lot of shit about people. Now we'll see if you choose to shit or talk. And so he's got to like get up and reach a key or something.
Yeah.
So he either stands up and his mouth is okay, tears the backside, or he pulls it out this way and, grabs the key on the floor.
That's fucking brutal.
Good one, right?
It's really...
And last time I checked, no one could just like willingly open up their esophagus or your rectum.
Yeah.
So that's mine. Except it would be hilarious when you saw it on screen at first because it'd be like such a funny, ironic thing.
Although sometimes I put myself in, like, I get empathetic. I go, oh, like that was me. Like,
no.
Yeah. What do you do? But yeah, that's brutal.
I just hope I get one of those ones where I could dice someone else and it's like a moral question. And I can pretend like it was hard to do, but I'm like, I grabbed the key.
But you said, where's the weapon?
Rewind the tape, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I got I'm gonna go with 28 Weeks Later. Now I know it's a sequel, but I love 28 Days Later. I love 28 Weeks Later. So there's been talk. Hey, there's been talk about 28 Months Later for whatever.
See, that would be the second sequel to 28 Days Later.
It would be a third movie. It would still count as a sequel to a sequel that never got a sequel. It's a franchise, and that counts.
That's no.
It does.
It's wrong. A sequel to a sequel is the second sequel.
It's highly anticipated. I guarantee you people would like seeing that. But it would just be continuing just where the fall of man was going, and because it showed at the end of that film like going to all these different cities and just kind of like, I think it was in France. It showed.
So Jeremy Renner got fried.
Yeah.
The brother sister, Imogen Poots, I forget the young guy's name. They get on. Was it a helicopter? And they're off and they're kind of looking. Yeah. And then you're right. They land in France.
Yeah, crash, I think, and then
it
shows kind of the guys all running, and there was the Eiffel Tower.
So would you go with the new group of people?
Yeah.
Or would you go with they survived that somehow?
I mean, it would be great if you could, but I mean, like, unless it's 28 years later at this rate, which it might be because the sequel never happens, but they always talk about it. But it's one I would just like to see just because I really love those first two movies and I would like to see kind of where it would go.
Yeah.
Because, like, in different countries and, like, how has things changed. It showed them starving before. Like, does it starve out? Does it starve again? How much damage has it done? Or is the world fully kind of just immersed into this rage virus, and it's like very few people at that point? Who knows?
True. Maybe you started off, you're hanging with that crowd, you get to know the new people, and then boom, one of the original cast mates
which I would love to see too. Yeah. Even anything from the first movie. I mean, but though they're in another country too, so. And
maybe I don't know if he dies in it. I know he turns, but you have to bring back. Full Monty. Come on.
Yeah.
You know his name.
I know. It's Robert Carlyle.
Carlyle. That's right.
Yeah.
Would he be back, or did he die?
He dies. I'm pretty sure he did. He was one of the rage guys.
But did we see him like?
I'm pretty sure you see him die. Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't seen it in a little bit, but yeah. I actually have his costume from that movie with all the blood on it and stuff.
No way.
Yeah, I have Imogen Poots' dummy for the car scenes where they go into the subway.
Yeah.
And I have Jeremy Renner's costume from like his army outfit.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love that. Jeremy Renner, hey?
And yeah, and he wasn't like a big name at that point. That was kind of at the cusp, but like he's just started taking off from there.
And he kind of plays Hawkeye, but with a gun.
Yes. Yeah, he was cool though. I always liked Jeremy Renner.
Oh
yeah, and I got one of the. This was a stupid purchase, but it was cool. I mean, I stand by it. I do not stand by the shipping I was charged, but I was also stupid because I didn't think about it. So I bought when you would come back into the country to check that you didn't have the virus. They would do like exams on you. So I bought straight up, like they do like Imogen Poots and all those people, like they're coming back and they do like the eye exam thing,
right?
To see if they've got the and then they discovered that the one kid's got I think 2 different cornea colors, and that was something with, so he didn't get infected, and the mom, and so they were carriers, but they couldn't get the virus. Yeah. So, but I bought that actual unit. Turns out it's just real. It's an actual metal like optometrist fucking like,
really?
And I don't know if you like know anything about like just any industrial equipment of any sort, including optometry. Yeah, it's heavy. So yeah, I ended up paying a bunch of money on shipping for it, but I'd stand by it. It was cool.
You prick your finger.
Shipped from the UK nonetheless to Canada. Oh, yeah, so yeah, it sucked.
You prick your finger and then you're like, ow. Oh, feeling funny, and then you hold it up. Beep, 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 beep. You're like, and you freak out.
Spitting blood everywhere and shit.
Real unit really does its job.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool though. I love that movie.
That's a great movie. I think I still love the first one.
Mm-hmm. No, it's great.
But second one, it's right up there.
Yeah, I feel they're both on par.
For sure, man. How about here's a movie. It doesn't need a sequel. Did any of these need a sequel?
No, Arguable. But it'd be cool.
But within the vein of our conversation, Bill Paxton's Frailty.
Sure. Okay.
Love it. That was like it was like Twilight Zone movie made 1999.
Mm-hmm.
But so that had if you guys haven't seen it, it's Bill Paxton. He's the dad. He's got a message from God to kill what look like normal people, and they're demons.
Yeah.
And he's got the one son who believes him and the other one that doesn't. And the big twist in the end...
He directed that film too, didn't he?
He did. He directed it. Spoiler, there's a unreliable narrator here, and you learn that the guy getting interviewed for these killings, who may know who the God's Hand killer is the son that believed him. And that's Matthew McConaughey. So, naturally, it ends with him killing, the officer, interrogating him. So the sequel would probably have to follow Matthew McConaughey either on the run, or tracking down more of these people that are demons on the list.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Matthew McConaughey in a movie like that again, though.
Yeah,
because he doesn't really do those types of films anymore. Like he's kind of like great actor. He's gone on to do a million different things. He was also in that Texas Chainsaw.
Which
Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next or something. It was the
Next Generation.
Next Generation, yeah.
That was back when his hair.
Renee Zellweger too.
Yeah,
and they were both just like local Texan actors at that point.
And he wasn't all like he's got a great head of hair now, but I think he was like everyone remarks he was balding there, and that was him kind of like at his last little moment before he broke.
Yeah. They both broke like right after that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I even myself, I was like, he does rom-coms. I'm not a big fan of this guy. Man, how wrong was I?
Oh, I know.
Because he does True Detective. It's like,
oh shit, dude! Like everything. He's a solid actor.
And he's hilarious.
And he just seems just like he doesn't give a shit. Like to have his persona just through life, it just seems like. I mean, doesn't hurt that he's rich and he's got a cool ass job and all that. And he's a handsome dude, chilled out, always walks around without a shirt. Think he just gets baked and like kind of meditates and shit. Like he probably likes carrying things and like driving in luxury cars and talking inner monologue.
And if you think about it, I'd ask my wife, like, do you like Texan accents? And to her, she immediately goes, I don't know if that's for me, the twangy thing. I'm like, no, don't think about it that way. Think about it like Matthew McConaughey. Like,
and then she's like, all right.
Yeah, she's all over it. She's all over it. And I gotta admit, it's smooth. It's like a fine whiskey.
Yeah, he's cool.
All right. Anyway, Frailty 2.
Okay.
Not needed, because the first one's perfect.
Not gonna happen either, but
probably won't happen. But it would be awesome to see Matthew McConaughey kind of go on a demon hunt. I mean, cat's out of the bag. Everyone knows that what he's seeing is legit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to work in that big surprise angle, you got to do some legwork. But
sure,
even if it was straight up, you know what he's doing, it would be really fun to see him, on the run, kind of living probably motel, traveling the countryside, killing demons
Dodging
that look like people.
police, staying out of the public eye. Yeah.
You know what you could do with that, actually? And maybe I shouldn't say it because this would be a pretty
Don't
dope movie.
say it then.
Don't say it.
They'll steal it.
Okay, don't
They'll
tell
always
anyone.
steal it.
YouTube audience, don't tell anyone this idea. What if Matthew McConaughey is going after all of these demons who look like people?
Yeah.
But pretty soon he realizes that someone's out to get him, and the guy's like, I do what you do, and you're a demon.
Ooh, flipped it on him.
Flip the script.
And he could still be a demon. He's just bullshitting him, or maybe not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you could do with that.
Are they both demons? Are they not demons at all? Is one a demon coming to kill him, who's God's messenger? Maybe
he's an angel and he's just fucking with him.
Yeah. Or maybe he's a demon going after God's good people. And it's like, yeah, you're a demon slayer. I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Don't steal
all
that
right.
shit.
That actually seeming better.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I got another one, which everybody talks about, but I stand behind it just because I'm a fan. Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah.
And I would love to see older Michael Keaton do that shit. Because there's something about Michael Keaton.
You can't replace that.
You can't replace that.
No.
And I'd like to see a little... I know he was already supposed to be dead and this and that, and he's kind of a ghost, whatever, specter, but if you... I would love to see that character with some age on him anyways. I think it would just suit, like, the vibe of Beetle. And he's just, like...
Well, you'd hide it with the makeup, too, so I think you could get away with it.
You could pull it off. And I think Michael Keaton, like... He's still coming out like with roles every time it doesn't even matter what movie he's in. He always shines.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. And I'd like to see where they would go with the story. And Tim Burton to like revisit that era of Tim Burton.
Yeah.
I think would be kind of really cool. I think he could I think everybody could do it. And I think everybody would be like, if they could get the studio behind it, I think it would be just people would love it. I think that there is a recipe there, and there's endless shit you could do with it. Yeah. And now with like just with special effects and production, the way they could go into like the Netherworld shit, like you could really go crazy with all the. And I think that's what would be neat, like to go more into that, because you could. It's
funny you mentioned Michael Keaton too. It's like growing up, he was our Batman.
Oh, absolutely.
And the best Batman.
He's great.
Just saying. Yeah, no offense. There's a lot of great Batmans. Anyway, Michael Keaton, amazing. And then Jack Frost kind of chilled out his career. Put it on ice. That's so weak. But yeah, for the longest time too, like through the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I kept saying, and no one really seemed to give a shit about Michael Keaton for the longest time. And I always thought like, oh, he's so funny. He's so like Nightshade.
Yeah. He could do comedy as well as he can do anything else.
Oh,
like,
completely.
I mean, that's where he started.
Yeah, and that's what he was known from before they got Batman. And then that totally changed everyone's perspective on him. But it wasn't until Jackie Brown and stuff, like, I think that was 96, 97.
Yeah,
but yeah, small role. He's like a supporting character of a supporting character.
Yeah.
Goddamn hilarious. And then what was his big return? It was The Founder. Spotlight, and there was a couple others. I think he came in that Will Ferrell film.
Yeah,
as a police chief.
Other guys.
The other guys.
Yeah, I think so. And then he did the RoboCop reboot.
Birdman as well.
Birdman came out just after that too, and Birdman was good. I mean, like I don't know. And then he's kind of popping up and shit. And came into the Marvel universe now.
Just happy you're back, Michael Keaton.
Yeah, fucking A, Michael Keaton. I'm a big supporter. Even without Beetlejuice, do more stuff anyway. I'll watch it.
Man. I love that guy. He's so good.
Yeah, well, actually, they're talking about putting him back into the DC universe as Batman.
As the Flashpoint Batman,
He's in the Flash. He's, I don't know if he's Flashpoint. It's with the Flash film stuff, but yeah, he's going to be... because there's so many variants of Batman that they're going to have in that too. And
in a nutshell, Flashpoint with the Flash, it's like the alternate universe. Yeah. What if Bruce Wayne was killed in the alley instead of the parents, and Batman is actually Wayne?
Yeah.
But they sorry, not Wayne. What's his name?
What, his dad?
Yeah, what's his dad's first name? Bruce Wayne, Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne. Yeah.
So it would be Thomas Wayne. Yeah. Would they have Michael Keaton play Thomas Wayne?
No. I'm hearing that they have a character for that too.
Oh.
But this is literally playing the Batman we knew. And I'm hearing rumor right now that they're talking about Michelle Pfeiffer coming back as Catwoman in the same universe.
Oh, dude. What?
I know, it's freaking me out. Yeah. No, seriously. Yeah. No, that's just been popping up with the Michelle Pfeiffer thing. I just like within this last week here, I've been hearing about that.
So are they going to like...
It's fresh.
Peter Cushing them in the face like they did with Star Wars to make them look younger?
I think they're just supposed to be older. It's alternate universe shit. It's just different timelines and stuff. Because the Flash is actually going in time, right? Like, cause like, if you don't know all the lore, like I know, and I'm not like a crazy huge Flash guy, but I know enough that like he can like he fucked with time going back and whatever with this. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that could be really cool.
That is really cool. I actually watched Batman Returns maybe a week ago.
Batman Returns honestly might be my favorite one. I know it gets a lot of shit for like at the time everybody said it was too dark.
Right.
But and I think we've talked about this. Why the fuck do we keep on bringing up that? But
it's a great movie. It
is, and Batman Returns, man. It's
and Michelle Pfeiffer, man. Everything about her character, the way she portrayed her, the writing for her,
her moves and stuff too, and like her mannerisms, all the cat-like stuff, and her banter between Danny DeVito just being this disgusting pig of a penguin guy, and like
the campy feel works so well.
It just works.
That I don't know, not many people could pull that off.
Yeah, I gotta get Jenna to watch that one. I don't think she's seen it. She's seen the first Michael Keaton Batman, but
which is great.
I think this one, I think she would like it better, to be honest, too.
You've never seen Batman Returns?
No.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's the sound clip for the episode. You haven't seen Batman Returns? No.
Well, that's gonna end the show, and
yeah. Let's leave it on that note.
I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah.
Nah, you'll love it. It's so good.
It's really good.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. This is this is the 12th episode, I believe.
Yeah, we're trying to stay back here, so like, yeah. Thanks for watching.
Throw us your thoughts too on sequels that never happened. Actually, we talked about the prequel for Nightmare on Elm Street that never happened, but we want to know what's your favorite non-sequel that didn't happen to a film that should have a sequel.
Yeah, maybe we'll like. I could see us revisit this because there's so many.
Oh yeah.
So if there's some good suggestions in there, maybe we'll throw that in the next one.
For sure. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we are out.